Hi everyone, my name is Caroline and thank you so much for being here with me today. I am so excited about our video, as I always am. For this video, I'm going to be doing a Sorority 101, what you need to know if you want to join a sorority. Let's do it. So let's start a little bit about me. My name is Caroline, like I said. I am in Alpha Epsilon Phi at Towson University, and I'm the president of my chapter. I am a second semester senior, so that means I am graduating in December, which I have a lot of feelings about, and we don't have to talk about them right now. I am fairly new to YouTube and I'm planning on making lots of sorority and college videos, so make sure you subscribe to me to get all of those updates. All right, so we're gonna start out with some very, very basic terms. There's gonna be like a lot of terminology in this video. That's the way I figured like to best organize it, but these two terms are like the most basic ones that I'll be using throughout the entire video, so I wanted to start there. So the first one is literally sorority. Like, what is a sorority? So I put it in Google because I wanted to see what the official definition is, and Google said that it is a society for female students in university or college, typically for social purposes. Now there are other kinds of sororities, but that'll be a different video. But today we're talking about social sororities. Let's talk about the National Panhellenic Conference, or the NPC. So this is a huge governing or advisory structure organization that oversees all of the Panhellenic sororities. So the Panhellenic sororities are the ones that I just talked about. So there are 26 social sororities within the NPC, the National Panhellenic Councils. Housing, let's talk about housing, everyone's favorite thing. By housing, I mean Greek life housing. Not every school has Greek life housing. So Towson, my school, we do not have official housing for fraternities and sororities. At schools that do have housing, not every chapter has to have a house either. So maybe your chapter is too small to have a house. Maybe you're pretty new on campus. The setup for the houses and like how they're organized, like it's different for every school, for every sorority. One like a house in Arizona for AE and a house in Maryland like aren't gonna look the same because they're in totally different parts of the country, and like architecture just straight up isn't the same, so they're gonna look different. Alrighty, let's talk about recruitment. So recruitment is like a big scary word for some people. Don't be afraid of it. There's a lot that goes into it, but it can absolutely be simplified. So again, I'm gonna start with some basic terminology that pretty much everybody uses at every school, and you know, there might be some small variances. The exact definitions might be a little bit different, but for the most part, everybody uses these terms. So PNM, it stands for potential new member. So any girl that could potentially be in a sorority, is looking to join a sorority, is going through recruitment or rush, they are a PNM. A bid is an official invitation to join a specific sorority. Rush or recruitment, they're the same thing, is the process of meeting sisters from those chapters, from the sororities, to potentially get invited for membership. Okay, so there's two types of recruitment. The first one being formal recruitment and the second one being informal recruitment. So let's talk about formal recruitment first. Formal recruitment is what your mind automatically thinks of when you say sorority recruitment or sorority rush. It's a lot of girls going through at the same time, and all the chapters are participating as well, and every single girl meets every single chapter. So everyone meets each other, and then it's like a mutually selective process. So the PNMs narrow down who they did and didn't like, and then the sisters and the chapters do the same exact thing. They talk as a group about which PNMs would be a good fit for them and which PNMs probably wouldn't be the best fit for them. So it goes like that for the entire formal recruitment period, and then you have bid day where everyone finds out what sororities they've been invited to get membership to. So you get one bid, and then you can choose to accept it or not. And then if you accept it, you go and you celebrate with your new sisters. Informal recruitment is like basically well, it's not the opposite of that, because like I don't know what the opposite would be, but it's on the complete other end of the spectrum. It is significantly more chill, more relaxed, more laid back. There are not nearly as many rules and regulations, and it's not as scheduled out at all. So first of all, not even every sorority participates in informal recruitment. It can happen all year long. Again, that's different from school to school. And then the biggest difference, I think, is that the PNMs can choose to go to whatever chapters they want. So if there are 6 out of the 10 chapters are doing informal recruitment, but you're only interested in 3, you don't have to go to all 6. You can only go to the 3 you're interested in. Of course, it's beneficial to go to everyone and get to know everyone, because someone might seem really great on paper and then you just don't vibe with them that much, but you don't have to. And then again, informal recruitment generally ends in a bid day as well, but again, that can change just like everything else. So the chapters will extend their bids like in a way that is special to them, instead of like everyone gathering all in one place and opening up their bids all at one time. It's usually not like that. And then so you get your bid made through a phone call and email, I don't really know. And then you'll usually go have a bid day celebration with your new sisters. Let's talk about new member ed. So that is the immediate next thing that happens. So right after you get a bid and you accept your bid, you are called a new member. So a new member is a sister who has accepted her bid and she has not been initiated yet. And during this new member period, you go through new member ed. And again, this might be called something else for other schools or other chapters, but from what I know, it's generally called new member ed. And this is the time where you are meeting your sisters, meeting your pledge class, and learning all about Greek life, your national sorority, your individual chapter, all of those kinds of things. New member ed is typically led by the VP, Vice President of New Member Education. So she is an older sister who has been elected into this position. She's usually on the e-board. Her title might be a little bit different, but that's generally what she's called. And she nurtures and mentors all of the new members. She takes them through the new member ed process, organizes all of the new member events, everything like that. Initiation is what happens at the end. The initiation marks the end of the new member period. It is a secret ritual, so only the sisters in that sorority know the ritual. So only AE5 sisters know what the AE5 ritual, initiation ritual is like. Once you go through initiation and complete that ritual, you are officially in the sorority, completely in it. You're in it for life. You are an active sister, an initiated member. Once you are initiated, that means that you are officially a full-fledged member of the chapter, so you are an active sister. This also means that you are unable to join any other NPC sorority. If you drop out of your sorority during the new member process, so before initiation, you would still be eligible to join another NPC sorority, although there are some caveats and some like technicalities with that. So you would just have to ask like your advisors or president of your sorority or something at that time. But big little, this is one of the best parts about sorority, especially when you are a new member, when you are the little. So a big little is like a mentor-mentee relationship. So an older active sister, which is the big, gets paired with a new member, the little, and these are typically 2 girls that have like gotten along the entire new member period. They've gotten pretty close, or if they're not already close, then like the VP new member ed thinks that they could definitely be close in the future. That maybe they have a lot in common, they have really similar values or interests. They'll definitely be good friends. Being a big is definitely a privilege. It's a responsibility and a privilege. So you're responsible for making sure that your little knows everything that's going on. If she has any questions, she can go to her big. You're going to be a good example, and you're also responsible for like just getting to know her, welcoming her into the sorority. The big also spoils her little. So there's a thing called Big Little Week. The big, who is like a secret, the little doesn't know who her big is. The big spoils the little with gifts usually like t-shirts, canvases, candy, sorority themed gifts, things that she'll like for all week long or however long your Big Little Week is. And then at the end, there's like a creative way to reveal who everyone's bigs and littles are. So for my Big Little reveal, when I was a big, the bigs hid in boxes, and then we jumped out and surprised our littles. So that was cute. Okay, so that is like new member ed. There's obviously a lot more that goes into it, but this is just like a 101 and overview. So let's move on to some like smaller categories. So let's talk about sisterhood events and retreats. So these are like events and activities. They can be really big, they can be small, simple, but their only purpose is just to have sisters hang out with each other, to be fun, get everyone hanging out, bonding, stuff like that. So there's a lot of examples. Some of the things that I've done, we went to an amusement park, we've done an escape room, we've just had movie nights, we have chapter dinners. Oh, my favorite one, we went to a ropes course. So we spent all day like at a ropes course where we did like team bonding, a zip line, stuff like that. That was really fun. The point of like sorority is to have a sisterhood, and so sisterhood events are like the staple of our experience. Everyone loves them. We have them all semester long, and they are so fun. Another big aspect of sorority is philanthropy. So every single sorority has their own philanthropy, and this is generally decided by the national organization. So these can be anything from like pediatric AIDS, breast cancer, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, St. Jude, cystic fibrosis. There's all kinds of things. The philanthropy of your organization is something that you will be supporting your entire time when you're in the sorority. So this is something that is really important to learn about as you're going through recruitment. You want to make sure that it's something you, at the very least, are comfortable supporting, and then ideally at the best, are something that you're actively interested in. The last thing I'm going to talk about is dues. So dues are a semesterly fee required of all new members and active sisters. And often the new member dues and the active sister dues are different. And then if you have a house as well, the dues might be different for if you're living in the house or if you're not in the house. And this is just because there's like different fees included. Obviously, if you're living in the house, you have to pay for the house. But for like new member and active, there's a lot of more like paperwork, a lot more events. You get a pin, which is like pretty nice, like a binder, a handbook, all that kind of stuff as well. So you have to pay for those as well. So dues are what pays for the chapter 2 function. A good portion of dues go to the national organization so that they can provide programming and whatnot for everybody in the sorority. But what's left goes directly to the chapter itself. Some sororities donate a portion of their dues to the philanthropies they support, so that might be something that your chapter does. But for the most part, they go to the chapter. Alrighty, I think that's everything. If there's something that you think I missed, go ahead and let me know down in the comments. And if you are in a sorority, let me know down in the comments as well. Maybe I'll see some other phi's. Make sure you subscribe to keep hanging out with me. Let's grow this fam. Let's do it. Yeah, so thanks so much for watching. And I'll see you next time. Peace.